Then later, because he was still trying to keep the birth of Lord Krishna very secretive. He didn't want Kamsa to know, otherwise Kamsa would come and kill the baby. So in order to keep it secretive, he just gave mentally. But then later on, when Kamsa was killed, he actually gave them physically. There is one story in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a personal servant who is actually his god brother. Anyone knows the personal servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Take a guess. No right and wrong answer. Okay. Loud. Okay. Swarup Damodar, Nityananda Prabhu. Any other names you can think of in Chaitanya Charitamrita? Or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's story? No. Come on, Sal. You can do it.
I just heard that name 2 hours before.
Repetition is the mother of learning. Hear it more. So, Swarup Damodar is the personal secretary of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nityananda Prabhu is his personal associate or somebody who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu respected more as his brother. So that's not the servant. His servant's name is Govinda. Govinda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they both are god brothers, meaning they both took initiation. Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's guru? Anyone knows? Ishwarapuri was his guru. So Ishwarapuri, before leaving his body, he tells to Govinda, who is actually by his bedside serving him. He was the servant of Ishwarapuri. He tells him, after I quit my body, you go and serve Chaitanya. Very unusual instruction he gives him to go and be a servant of your own god brother. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he hears the instruction of his guru, even though he didn't want to take the service, he accepts that as his guru and accepts the service of Govinda. So one day, Govinda is always by the side of the Lord, 24/7. One afternoon, Govinda serves the Jagannath Prasad to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after honoring the Prasad, as his usual routine, he lied down to take a nap. But it so happened on that day, it was a small room. Govinda is still serving the Lord. As soon as the Lord finishes his meal, goes out, washes, comes back, Govinda is still there inside the room. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lies down, crossing the path. So Govinda can't leave the room now. And Govinda hasn't taken the prasad yet. Actually, it's the other way around. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lies down when Govinda is outside, not inside. So it's the second half of the story actually. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is still lying down in the room, but his body is inside the room. And Govinda is outside. He also took the plate out. He is outside. So now Govinda comes. Usually when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu takes a nap, at that time, Govinda would massage the feet of the Lord. So on that day, because the Lord is already inside, he couldn't see the feet of the Lord. Let's say the doorway is only this much, right? If somebody sleeps, the rest of the body is this side. So now Govinda is stuck in a dilemma. I want to serve the Lord, but in order to serve the Lord, I have to go into the room. But to go into the room, I have to cross over the Lord's body because he is lying, blocking the way. So in that dilemma, what he does is he takes a fresh cloth, puts it on the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then he jumps over. And then takes the cloth out and starts massaging him. And then he massages, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes for a nap, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wakes up after a certain period of time, a length of time. And when he wakes up and he sees Govinda inside still massaging him, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asks, "Oh Govinda, have you taken your afternoon prasad?" Then Govinda says, "No, my lord. In order to take prasad, I have to cross over your body, which I didn't want to do." Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiles at him and he says, "Well, you had done it once because you were not inside the room when I was sleeping. If you are inside the room now, that means you already crossed. You could have gone back the same way." Govinda says something interesting. Please listen to this carefully because Prabhupada mentions one very important point in the purport. Govinda says, "My lord, when I crossed over, I know it is a sinful thing. Crossing over anyone's body itself is a sinful thing.
Crossing over the Lord, it's even more like, it's aparad, not even just a sin. Sin is material. But he says, by doing that, I may need to go to hell, but it doesn't matter because it was for your pleasure. For that, I can cross over. But now I'm massaging you. In order for me to take prasad, I should cross your body over and go. But that is just for my body. That's fine. I can neglect that. So for Lord's pleasure, devotees are ready to take any risk. They are ready to take any pain. So he is saying, for your pleasure, I'm happy to breach the etiquette and let the reactions come to me. No problem. But then if I had crossed over you again, that will be just for my selfish reason. I don't want, I can stay inside. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu becomes very pleased and he embraces him. You will find a similar mood being demonstrated by the gopis. Gopis, once Narada Muni, in order to, actually Krishna wanted to establish the glories of gopis, even among the queens of Dwaraka. So one day Krishna feigns headache. Oh, I have very strong headache. I don't know what's the cure. And then everyone tries different herbs, nothing works. Finally, Narada Muni appears in the scene and Narada Muni says, if Krishna has to get rid of his headache, then the cure is very easy. He just needs to put the dust of the lotus feet of his pure devotees. That's it. If that dust goes to Krishna's head, Krishna's headache will be cured. And Krishna also agrees. Yes, that's a good cure. But then, who would want to do that? 16,108 queens, they are worshipping him. And they are fully aware about the position of Krishna. So they try, Narada Muni tries going, asking everyone is very scared. Narada Muni goes everywhere, finally he comes to Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, when he comes to gopis immediately, they say, immediately, take it. And then Narada Muni warns, do you know what reaction you will get by letting the dust of your feet to touch Krishna's head? He is Supreme Lord. Then gopis tell to Narada Muni, we don't care. For Krishna's pleasure, we are happy to go and be in hell eternally. That doesn't matter. Krishna's pleasure alone matters. They say, take it. So then there are many leelas like that where Krishna establishes the supremacy. If you read Brihad Bhagavatamrita, one half of Brihad Bhagavatamrita is about Narada Muni's quest to find out who is the best devotee, who is the devotee who is favored by Krishna the most. And then he goes to different devotees. Each devotee would take a very humble stance and say, I'm a very fallen soul. That devotee, each devotee would point Narada Muni to go to a different one. Like that, Narada Muni goes all the way. He goes from North India to one Brahmana, then to South India, then to Indra. It goes all the way. Shiva, Brahma, everywhere he goes. Prahlad Maharaj, Hanuman. Then he goes to Dwaraka, Pandavas, Uddhava, Dwaraka Vasis. Finally, Krishna himself establishes gopis as the topmost of all. Okay, so there are many instances. Now here is the point Prabhupada writes in the purport in Govinda's pastime. So when Govinda says that, Prabhupada writes in the purport in that particular pastime in Chaitanya Charitamrita that we are supposed to follow etiquette all the time. But sometimes in emergencies, we may need to cut the corner a little bit. That too should be only for the pleasure of the Lord. Normally we have this tendency. We are supposed to serve the Lord and maintain ourselves. But we'll do the exact opposite. We normally tend to serve ourselves and maintain our bhakti with the Lord. How many of you agree with me? But as we progress in bhakti, you can gauge yourself where we are by seeing how much am I thinking about Krishna, how much am I doing things for the pleasure of the Lord versus how much I am doing simply for myself. Pure devotees means the scale will tilt completely 100%. They don't care about anything. 24/7 they live only for the pleasure of the Lord. That doesn't mean you neglect, you ignore your health, you don't eat. That's not the point. The point here is you still take care of the health, but fully understanding that this health has to be maintained properly so that I can serve Krishna optimally. When you eat food also, with the same mood we have to do. We can't concoct anything to do. Okay, Krishna has given us intelligence. We have to see. Sometimes there is an overemphasis on, oh, let us do fasting. Let us do nirjala. But we have to see, how is Krishna being pleased? How can we please Krishna? Gyalbu.
First, by taking care of our body, only we are able to serve.
Okay. I'm looking for something more specific from Bhagavad Gita. It's a very generic question. How can Krishna be pleased?
By sacrifice.
Okay, I take that. Anything else?
Devotion.
Okay, Anush. Okay, Gyalbu.
Like one stroke, like first Pushpa Phalam, like if we offer anything with devotion, then it's
Okay, we'll come to that verse. We've got nice verse. Yes. Oh, it's same. My God, great men think alike. Having sincere love, very good. Somebody else had the hand up. Yes.
Using our mind and senses.
Engaging our mind and senses in service of the Lord. Anything else? Anshu.
Doing our activities and thinking.
Yes.
Surrender.
Surrender. Good. Nice answers. Constantly thinking of Krishna. Very good. Okay, open a book. This verse is very important. Prabhupada would often quote. Search for this verse. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Okay. Every verse in Bhagavad Gita is important. 18th chapter is more important, or what's the best way to say it? 18th chapter is always important. See, normally when you do a conversation with each other, right, you will say something, and during the 2 hours, let's say you speak to somebody, you will talk on a lot of things. Finally, you conclude, wherein you will summarize the points, correct? Krishna summarized everything in 18th chapter. Second chapter also, Krishna has summarized everything. Every chapter is important. But 18th chapter is conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, even if you have slept through the 17th chapter, 17 chapters, 18th chapter at least give more focus to understand what is it that Krishna himself is saying as conclusion. All concluding verses, Krishna emphasizes, Manmana Bhava Madbhakto, 2 times Krishna says. 9th chapter he says, but then Krishna is concluding his presentations, he says the same verse in 18th chapter. Like that, this also is there. Okay, who can recite the verse? Prajwal, can you recite? 18.55. First you recite the verse, we'll follow you. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvatah tato mam tatvato jnatva. Jnatva means to know. Yeah. Vishyate tad anantaram. Roman, read the translation.
One can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God.
So, if you want to know Krishna, one can know only by Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. Mam means me. Abhijanati means to know me. Bhaktya means only by devotional service. Okay, so there is only one way how we can please the Lord. That is by devotional service. This is one primary difference you will see, especially from the cultural background that most of us come from. Everyone thinks they know Krishna, but then they are all concocted versions. Who actually knows Krishna will be said only by those who are genuine devotees. Very few you will find. And how do we know whether somebody is a genuine devotee? We see what service they have done for Krishna. With that only we can gauge, okay, whether this person is a devotee or this person is an armchair philosopher. Understand? People have their own concoctions. People sit and make YouTube videos, podcasts, everyone giving their own opinion. But how do we know whose version is very authentic? only by their actions. And how do we gauge their action? We have to see what authorized devotional service they do, not unauthorized. Authorized devotional service they do. Okay, so here Krishna is saying, because Krishna himself is saying, Bhaktya mama bijanati, you can know me only by devotional service. If somebody doesn't do devotional service and simply just give their own view, then you reject that because they don't know Krishna. Some people even made movies about Krishna like that. Some people make dramas like that. They make dance, they release music albums. But make no mistake, there is only one way to know Krishna, which is by devotional service. And that devotional service is 9 different processes. Some of you mentioned, to constantly think of Krishna, hear Krishna, read about Krishna, all of that, surrendering to Krishna. They all come under 9 different processes. So whatever we call as devotional service should be coming under one or many of those 9 different processes. Who knows the 9 different processes? Okay, go on. Shravanam, English? Hearing. Okay, anything else? Anyone else? Kirtanam, chanting. Third? Smaranam, remembering. Fourth? Hey, one at a time. Shh. Okay, Pada Sevanam, serving the lotus feet of the Lord. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. Okay, what does it mean? Deity worship. Okay, Archanam. Vandanam. Vandanam means? Praying to the Lord. Hare Krishna, chanting, praying to the Lord. So how do we identify if somebody is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that's a devotee of the Lord. Okay, because it comes under 9 different processes. If somebody goes in front of the Lord, offering simple prayers also, any prayers, heartfelt prayers, they are also counted as devotees. Understand? So any activity that we do, okay, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, then because it rhymes nice, he is saying Prashadam. No. What is the next one? Dasyam. Okay, somebody said surrender. Surrender comes last. Dasyam means somebody who is serving the Lord as a genuine servant. Okay, Dasyam. Then there is one more. Dasyam. Sakyam. To be like a friend of the Lord. And then Atmanivedanam. That is total surrendering to the Lord. Understand? In fact, even to understand the Supreme Lord, one needs to have that quality of Sakyam. We have to treat, okay, search the verse. Saevayam maya tedya. Saevayam. I think it's 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Saevayam. That's the one. What's the verse number? 4th chapter, 3rd verse. Okay, Salan, you can recite, we'll follow. Okay, 4.3, 4th chapter, 3rd verse. Okay, recite the verse.
Saevayam maya tedya.
Saevayam maya tedya.
Yoga prokta puratana.
Yoga prokta puratana. Bhaktosi me saka cheti. Rahasyam hi etad uttamam. Sonita, you have the verse translation? You can read.
That very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you because you are my devotee as well as my friend, and I can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of this science.
See, there are 2 qualities. Krishna is saying, only if you have these 2 qualities can you understand Bhagavad Gita. This verse is very important. Okay, Saevayam maya tedya. Yoga prokta puratanaha. It's a very ancient science. Bhakto shime shaka cheti. 2 things Krishna is saying. Bhakta, shaka. Bhakta means devotee. Shaka means friend. Rahasyam hi etad uttamam. Only if you are my devotee and friend can you understand this secret. That's what it means. Okay, so Sakyam, somebody said Prema. Prema is something common across all the 9 different processes of devotional service. Okay, so Prema means love. So unless somebody has love, somebody you can't hear attentively. You can't hear the glories of your enemy, can you? Somebody who you are envious of, if somebody glorifies, what emotion do you get? Anger, jealousy, envy. So you can't really relish that, understand? Only if you love somebody can you hear. Only if you love someone can you remember in a very positive way. Only if you love someone can you speak sweet words. Could be kirtanam, could be vandanam, like that. Okay, so 9 different processes of devotional service. So only if one does at least one of the 9 different. If somebody does all the 9, fantastic. At least one should do one of them to be counted as a devotee. There is only 9 different ways. Anything you take in this world, you can put in under a devotional service. You can put in one of these 9. Some will be directly, some will be slightly indirectly. Understand? But the most important thing is, that's why I said it has to be authorized devotional service. You can't concoct something. Krishna danced with the gopis, I will also dance with my girlfriends. That's not authorized. Show me which of the 9 processes of devotional service is that. Understand? So it's not authorized, it's concocted. Okay, bhakti has to be authorized only. Shruti, Smriti, Google the verse. Shruti, Smriti, Puranadi, Pancharatri Vidim Vina, Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir, Utpataya Vakalpate. Shruti, Smriti, Puranadi. There is a book called Srila Prabhupada's Shloka book. That has all the verses which you will ever need for your understanding as well as for your preaching. If any of you get a chance, you can buy a copy. I don't think we have a copy here in our temple shop, but if any of you go to India, anywhere. Did you find it? Who found it? Anshu, did you find the verse? Shruti, Smriti, Puranadi, Pancharatri Vidim Vina. Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir, Utpataya Vakalpate. Is that the verse?
I found it.
Okay. Did anyone find? Okay, give it to Anshu. If she hasn't found, she can recite. It's quoted other places also, you will find.
I found in one quote of Chaitanya.
Yes, Prabhupada, that's why it's a very often quoted verse of Prabhupada. Yes. Recite the verse.
Shruti Smriti Puranadi
Shruti Smriti Puranadi
Pancharatra Vidim Vina
Pancharatra Vidim Vina
Aikantiki Hare Bhaktir
Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir
Utpatayaiva Kalpate.
Utpatayaiva Kalpate. Chrissy, can you read the translation?
Unless one refers to Shastra, Shruti, Smriti and Puranati, one's spiritual activity simply disturbs the society. Blocking all government people and the society has fallen into a chaotic condition as far as the spiritual.
I think it's beyond the translation. Translation is done. Okay, so you can see even spiritual activities, it will cause only Utpataya Vakalpate. Utpadi means disturbance. Surprise, surprise. Okay, so when we practice bhakti, last week we were having a very nice conversation that is it okay to chant during class?
No.
What? Who said no?
When you are giving class, we cannot chant
Why?
simultaneously.
Okay, how many of you say it's okay to chant during the class? How many of you think it's not okay to chant during the class? I'll ask reasons for both. Okay, Salan.
If we chant while we are hearing to a speaker who is glorifying Krishna, so it's offense to 2 persons. Like one is to the speaker himself and one is to the holy name. Because while we chant the holy name, Krishna is there, and so we offend the holy name as well and the speaker as well.
Okay, I take that. Somebody else had the hand up. Yeah.
We need to attention. Like we need to give our full attention to what we're doing. So by dividing the activity, we divide our attention.
Okay, by dividing activity, we divide our attention. Somebody else had the hand up. Yes.
It's the same as
Good. Anyone else? You?
Yes, it's that you are not focused, we are not focused on like same thing at two things
At the same time. Okay. Anyone else? Prajwal, you had your hand up.
We cannot focus two things in the same time, and it is recommended by the Maharaj to at least focus in one thing. We just want to, you have also mentioned, if you just want to start, just go out of the class, but just try to focus on one thing.
Okay, so if you hear, correct. If you hear Prabhupada's audio chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, in one audio Prabhupada stops and he says, sit properly. Have you heard that? Anyone heard that? No. Suddenly you will hear, sit properly, and you think, Prabhupada's recording, it's there. So Prabhupada didn't even entertain people like, lying down and chanting like that. Understand? So bhakti has to be done as per recommendation. So holy name is the medicine, and the prescription for that medicine is instructions of the acharyas. Does that make sense? We can't say, I found a medicine that will cure my disease. Have you come across, I lost track, how many pop stars they died because of drug overdose? Come across the news? Now they may be recommended to a certain extent as a medicine, maybe, we don't know. But then they take same thing, little bit more, it kills them straight away. Body can't handle. Understand? Prabhupada says anything, if it goes beyond limit, becomes poison. Food, if it goes beyond, too much of anything, becomes poison. Okay. So bhakti, when we practice, it has to be strictly in accordance with the Shastra, because Krishna, he chooses to reciprocate only those he is pleased with. And how does he choose who he is actually going to favor versus who he does not going to favor? It's simply based on, Prabhupada says, love me, love my dog. Prabhupada would often give. Love me, love my dog means, it's very easy to make friends with somebody if they are walking their dog out. You just comment something nice about the dog, the person will feel, yes. So Prabhupada would often say that to drive home the point. Similarly, we are Krishna's dogs. So if you want to please the master, then we have to please the devotee. Understand? And Prabhupada would often point like this. Prabhupada would say, this is our dog's collar, like that. Prabhupada had his own very interesting sense of humor. Prabhupada would say like this, this is our dog's collar, like that. Okay, so we are Krishna's servants. So only way to please Krishna is by pleasing the devotees, and only way to gain Krishna's favor is by following the instructions of his pure devotees. Understand? So we can't concoct. Your medicine may be correct. If the prescription is wrong, you won't get the result. Once somebody asked in one youth class, you will hear a lot of interesting questions from the youth. Somebody asked Radhanath Maharaj, what if you look at this question, right? What if I take a revolver, hold it against my head, and say Krishna, and then press the trigger? You are laughing. One guy asked, you know what Radhanath Maharaj said? If that's your attitude towards Krishna, which is to cheat him, Krishna can choose not to be present in that holy name at the time of you pressing the trigger. Understand? So we can't outsmart Krishna. There are many places. Sometimes Mother Yashoda, when she dresses Krishna, she would be very much worried. Oh Krishna, you are taking all the valuable jewelry. You are wearing it. The jewelry looks very beautiful on you, but I'm so worried that you are going to the forest. There are thieves there. Then when Krishna hears that, he claps his hands and he laughs. And Krishna says, oh Yashoda Mayam, no doubt there are always a lot of thieves, but know me to be the thief of all thieves. How many of you have heard this song called Chorashtakam? The whole 8 stanzas is about how Krishna is a thief. It's such a beautiful song actually. Vraje prasidam navanita choram. Okay, find the song, play it a little bit. Chorashtakam. Only Krishna can be glorified in 8 verses. Forward, go to the song. That's the one. Okay, there are different renditions. You can stop, Prabhu. There are different renditions. You can listen to this. Very beautiful.
Therefore, one should purify as well by giving cows and gold in charity to the Brahmana.
Okay, let's stop there. Someone else can read. Who else? Preeti can read. In the material world we possess, which is unusable.
On newborn child is also purified by gifts of grain in charity to the Brahmanas. In this material world, it is to be understood that we are always living in contaminated state. We therefore have to purify the duration of our life, our possession of wealth and ourselves. We can purify our duration of life by taking a daily bath and cleansing the body inside and outside and accepting the 10 kind of purificatory process. By austerities, by worship of God, and by distribution of charity, we can purify the possession of wealth. We can purify ourselves by studying the Vedas in order to understand the absolute truth and achieve self-realization. It is therefore stated in the Vedic literature that by birth everyone is born a Sudra, that by accepting the purificatory process one becomes twice born, that by studying the Vedas one becomes a Vigra, which is a preliminary qualification for becoming a Brahmana, and that when one perfectly understands the absolute truth, he is called a Brahmana, and when the Brahmana reaches further perfection, he becomes a Vaishnava or a devotee.
Okay, let's stop there. Google for this verse 10.5.4. Okay. Instrument Bhagavatam. 10th canto, 5th chapter. That's the chapter we are discussing. But we'll go through the detail in regard to the purification. There are 9 different things that get purified, and it also tells the means by which they get purified. 10.5.4. Yes. You can Prajwal recite a Roman. You can recite the verse.
Kalena snana.
Kalena.
Snana.
Sauchabhyam.
Sauchabhyam.
Yep.
Samskaris tapashi jaya. Sudyanti danaya santushtya. Dravyanya
Atma.
Atma Vidyaya.
Read the translation also.
Okay. By the passing of time, land and other material possessions are purified.
Okay, pause there. So there are 9 things that are given in this verse, and how each one of those 9 things get purified. Okay, Kalena. Kalena means with the passage of time. Have you heard this saying, time is a good healer or a best healer, like that they say. Kalena, the time itself purifies some things. What are the things? That's the first point that's given. By the passing of time, land and other material possessions are purified. Some places in your childhood, you might have seen, like, it's a very wet swamp, some wetland in your area. Sometimes you may even see some drainage being passed there. And then you go there after 2 years or 3 years, you will see a high-rise building. How many of you have got that experience? And you think, how is this even possible? Kalena. With the passage of time, material possessions, they get purified. This whole universe gets purified at the end of Brahma's lifetime. It's totally dunked under water. The whole world is actually goes underwater. And then I said, that's not enough. Anantasesh also burns it with its fire that's emanating from its mouth. So with the passage of time, material possessions and land especially, they get purified. Okay, Kalena, that's the first one. Second one is Snana Sauchabhyam. Snana means taking bath. Our body gets purified by Snana. That's the second one. Sauchabhyam. Saucha means to clean. If you want to clean the floor, some things are cleansed, or some things are purified by means of cleansing. Understand? Like you take a cooking pot, you have to cleanse them. Sometimes you may pour something on the floor, you splash water and then you scrub, you clean. Understand? Like that it's given. So the first verse talks about the 3 things. Kalena, Snana, Sauchabhyam. Kalena means by the passage of the time. Kala means time. Kalena, Snana means to take bath. Time purifies land and other material possessions.
Bathing purifies us. Prabhupada says cleanliness, external cleanliness is by bathing. Put the hand up if you know the answer. Internal cleanliness is by hand up. Don't say the answer. Okay, Prajwal.
By chanting.
By chanting the holy name. By chanting mantras, Prabhupada says internally we get cleansed. Okay, so it's Kalena, Snana, Sauchabhyam. Sauchabhyam means to cleanse. Other things are actually purified by means of cleansing. These are the three things. Okay, Roman, continue. By bathing.
By bathing, the body is purified, and by being cleansed, unclean things are purified.
So this is the first three. Okay, next one.
By purificatory ceremonies, birth is purified.
Samskara. In fact, this birth ceremony of Lord Krishna, this ceremony is known as Jata Karma. We do for devotee kids who are born in our community also. That's the first samskar after the childbirth is done. Jata Karma is known as. Okay, that's one of the samskara. Prior to birth also there are samskaras. Understand? Like Garbhadana samskara, Simantanayana you come across like that. Like that after birth immediately you will see Jata Karma. And then you will see Namakara. And then you will see Anna Prashna, Vidyarambha. Each one of the activities when the child starts to do, there is a certain purificatory process that one is supposed to do. Okay, before the union between a male and a female, to prepare the consciousness of the female, the samskara that is done is known as Garbhadana samskara. Like that, and then the baby is actually conceived. When the baby fetus is actually growing within the mother's womb, to prepare the mother's consciousness properly to be able to give birth for the mental well-being also of both the child as well as the mother, Simantanayana is performed like that. Likewise, after the baby is born, then the birth ceremony that is known as Jata Karma. Okay, so each one of these, there are 10 samskaras like this. Okay, samskara means mental impressions. Each one of these samskaras, they create a very strong mental impression in the consciousness of the child especially. Okay, so here, by samskaras and other purificatory rituals, Prabhupada is quoting the verse in this section of Krishna book. Janmana jayate shudra samskarat bhavet vija veda patat bhavet vipra brahma janatiti brahmana. So, Janmana jayate shudra, by birth, even if somebody is born in a Brahmana family, they are all considered to be Shudras only. Samskarat bhavet vija. But somebody who is born as a Shudra, after they go through the proper purificatory rituals, then they are considered to be twice born. Birds are also considered to be twice born. Twice born means taking birth the second time. Okay, now think, why are the birds considered to be twice born? Hand up. Shh, hand up. Okay. First they are born as eggs, and then from the eggs they hatch out again. So they are also called Brahmanas. No, they are not called Brahmanas, but they are called Dvijas. In Bhagavatam it says. Okay, birds are also called Dvija. Dvija means twice born. Brahmanas are also called Dvija, twice born. Understand? 2 times they are born, because when they are born they are Shudras, but they go through all these purificatory rituals. After that, it's considered to be taking a second birth. If you are an ISKCON initiated devotee, you are also Dvija, twice born. When you take initiation at the time of Diksha, that's why you are given a new name, new spiritual form. Okay, new spiritual name like that. It's to signify that you are taking birth again. Understand? So, like that. So here, samskaras. Samskaras is for all purificatory ceremony for a child and for a human, basically. By samskaras, one's birth becomes purified. Okay, continue.
By austerity, the senses are purified.
By austerities, the senses are purified. When you do Ekadashi Vrata or some fasting, even for a half a day, for Radhashtami for example, or for Balram Jayanti, we do half a day fasting. So when you do half a day fasting, do you think your senses will crave? For some time it will. After some time it will be so weak, it won't even look properly. So normally senses are very passionate, craving for some pleasure, craving for it. Do you know what they are on which you have kept all the prasad? They are on stock of Bhakti Bazaar. You don't even know. There may be Mridanga below. we can't put anything heavy on top. Okay, so samskara bhave dvija, where were we? Senses become purified by tapasa. So when we do some austerity, like even by waking up early, for example, that's some austerity, your senses will also still get purified by doing that. So you don't overly indulge. Prabhupada says if somebody sleeps too much, which of the four regulative principles one breaks or chances are more likely to break due to oversleeping? By oversleeping, okay, let me take a step back. What are the four regulative principles? Regulative principles. Wow. Yes, no intoxication. Yes, no gambling. No illicit sex. No meat eating. Good. By oversleeping, which of these four one is more likely to break? Okay, intoxication. Okay, illicit sex. Two more only. Continue them. What is it? Intoxication, illicit sex, meat eating, gambling. What is it? Okay, gambling. That also sounds correct. In my Bhakti Baba exam, that's how it will be. All three answers, fourth one will be all the above or none of the above. It will be confusing. Prabhupada says if somebody oversleeps, they will break the regulative principle of illicit sex. Surprise, surprise. So we can't oversleep. We may think, sleep is a very nice thing. No, sleep actually puts one in the mode of ignorance completely. Tamasa. Sex means tamasaguna, tamaguna. So it increases tamaguna. Because of that, one will indulge in illicit sex more. Converse is also true. If one has the regular habit of going to bed early and waking up early, then they'll be very morally, they'll be very upright. They'll be very strict. Understand? So in Shastras, some instructions are given positively, some are given negatively. Okay, if you do Vaishnava Aparad, then you will go to hell. Converse is also given. Mahat Sevam Dwaram Ahur Vimuktes. Tamo Dwaram Yositam Sangi Sangam is given. Mahat Sevam, by serving the Mahabhagavats, Dwaram Ahur Vimukte, the door to liberation is open. Tamo Dwaram Yositam Sangi Sangam, by offending the devotees, the door to hell is open. That's what it means. Okay, so some instructions are given positively, some are given negatively. When something is given positively, you always take a time, let that sink in, but also think the negative aspect of that. But if something is said in the negative aspect, you think a little bit, you'll be able to find the positive side of things also. Does that make sense? Okay. So if you do that, you will see many times we say, no, it will look very negative, but then you just take it positively. The converse of that is also true, always. Okay, Vedic injunctions. If you read Shastras with that mindset, you will actually find it very fascinating. Otherwise, sometimes it will look like, Shastras will come across to us like a school headmaster. Don't do this, like that. But actually, no. Converse is also true. So when something negative is there, you think about it positively. What is the positive aspect of it? Okay? Okay, Roman, continue. We'll finish it. I'll finish this person.
And
yes.
by worship and charity offered to the Brahmanas, material possessions are purified.
Samskaras tapasa ijaya. So that is worshipping. Okay. So by worshipping or by sacrifices, Brahmanas they get purified. By worshipping Supreme Lord, Brahmanas getting purified. Yes, next.
By satisfaction, the mind is purified.
Santustya, very important. Say, if you want to give some pleasure to the body, you can lie down, sleep. You can just massage your fingers. You can eat. You can close your eyes. Go for a power nap. Go for yoga nidra. You can do one of the many things to satisfy your body. But to satisfy the mind, or mind is purified, or when is the mind peaceful? Santustya. Santustya means, read the translation again. What does Santustya means? Satisfaction, which means mind should be satisfied with whatever that comes out of its own accord. Prabhupada says in one place, what is controlled by destiny? You know what destiny means? Fate? Karma? Which part of your life is controlled by that?
Mind.
No, I haven't finished it yet. Which part of your life is controlled by destiny? Your actions. If, let's say, if somebody is going and stealing something, and if police come and catch, he says, oh, you know what to do, my karma is bad. Is that acceptable? So, does the propensity for stealing controlled by one's karma? Who's saying yes? Okay, I have one yes. Yes? Karma creates the situation, it's up to your free will. Okay, now let me take that further. You are right. Karma creates the situation and it's your free will. Let us say you choose to act in a certain way. Results, are they dependent on your action or are they dependent on karma?
Our action.
Okay, karma, I hear both. Results, what are they determined by? Is it determined by your karma? Is it determined by your action or is it determined by both? Okay, both. I'll come to that. Yes. Roman, what do you think? The results of your action, is it determined by your action alone?
Yeah.
Or by your destiny?
By your action.
Okay. Can I challenge that? Who works very hard? The guy sitting in AC room or the guy who's pulling a rickshaw? But then, why is the guy sitting in AC room becoming a millionaire? Why is the guy pulling rickshaw is still working and living hand to mouth?
The choices he made.
In terms of action, one guy is actually working very hard.
Well, how can we say that the guy in the AC is also not working hard?
Well, he's not exerting himself much. Many times he's not even going to office.
He's still making money.
That's the whole point. So, which means if the action alone is bringing the result, that means the guy who works most hard should be getting the maximum result compared to the one who's not working so hard. Does that make sense? So it's a bit of both, definitely. Technically there are 5 factors, we'll come to that later. It will be total detour, we can't finish the chapter today. Okay, so Shuddhyanti Dane Santushtya. Santushta means, so the mind can be pleased only by satisfaction, which means I have done whatever. Now this should not come as an excuse for us not giving out 100%. We should give 100%. Until that point you have your control. Once you finish giving 100%, now you sit back and relax, accept whatever the destiny gives you, or whatever Krishna gives you, whatever that your fate gives you, whatever that your karma gives you. Doesn't matter, you can call it whichever way. All it means is I'm not in control. That's all it means. Working, my action is in my control. The results of my action is not in my control. Does it make sense? Okay. But the situation in which I actually act, that is created by my karma. For some it will be easy, for some it will be a little hard to do. But then, situation only it creates. But I do the action. The result, it's totally up to Krishna. Okay, continue. Sudhyanti Dane Santushtya Dravyani. Yeah.
And by self-realization or Krishna consciousness, the soul is purified.
The soul becomes purified. Soul as such is very pure. Soul becomes purified here refers to the entanglement of the soul within this material body. Okay, so the more we hear about Krishna, more we attend our Friday class, more we open the books and read, more the soul will slowly get disentangled from this body and he'll go back to the spiritual world. That's what it means. Okay. So in this way, this particular verse actually talks in relation to charity, which Nanda Baba is giving. I'll stop there owing to lack of time. We'll continue this next week. I also need to go to Melbourne tomorrow. early morning flight. So I'll start to take questions. I can't afford to stay later too much. After this, I have to host a meeting. I can't skip that. So, yes.
Could you repeat what you said before about finding positive?
Yeah. So, for example, it is said, like, some instructions are given. Tell me some instruction which is said in negative in the Shastra.
Negative, like some sources even suggest animal sacrifices.
Okay, so if you don't kill animal, it's given. What is the opposite of that? If I say that instruction more positively, how can I say that positively? Can somebody frame that instruction more positively? Don't kill animal.
If you don't kill animals, in opposite, free the animals from the...
Okay, protect the animals. Understand? Krishna gives that Krishi Go Raksha Vanijyam. Go Raksha, which means a Vaishya is supposed to, Raksha means to protect the cows. Who is opening slaughterhouses these days? Vaishyas only. That's the problem. Understand? The guy for whom Krishna has given cow protection as the primary duty, it's the same guys who open just to become multimillionaires, they go and open slaughterhouses. Can you believe it? That's why Kali Yuga is like this. Okay, so point we have to understand, lack of knowledge. You can't blame anybody. Avidya, that's where everything starts. Okay, that's why this knowledge has to be spread far and wide to everyone. At least with the people in our circle, we need to share, we need to spread. Okay, so when you come across any instruction like that, I just give one example: thou shall not kill, or don't kill animals. You try to see the positive side. Don't kill animal may sound negative. If you give this or share this knowledge with somebody who is new, people don't like to put, why so much restriction like that? You say it positively. You protect cows, you worship cows, then you will get, lot of fortune coming your way. That's a more positive way of putting it. Understand? So in Shastras, forget about preaching, even for our own sake. So anything that you come across in Shastras, Shastras are our mother. Our Guru is our spiritual father. Shastras are our spiritual mother. So anything that comes, it comes as a loving, merciful, caring words of our spiritual mother. Sometimes it comes as a strict, with a strict connotation, so to speak. But even those strict instructions, if you take the essence of it, you can still frame it positively and you can understand it clearly. Does it make sense? Okay. We'll stop here. I'll take questions. We can start to take prasad. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Gopinath Youth Group ki jai. Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, questions. Okay, before I forget. On 26th of October, which is a Sunday, we are celebrating Srila Prabhupada's disappearance day. That's the day when Prabhupada left this planet, or from the mundane mission. So on that day, we were discussing, how many of you were in the retreat this year, early this year, in April? Okay, some of you. We were discussing moving forward. Every year, Prabhupada's Disappearance Day festival, we will run it as a youth festival. So it's a good opportunity for us to express our gratitude to our spiritual master. So on that day, I'm going to ask you to do two things.